This is going to seem a little strange because it's not going to work in Python, but it's an exam board favourite. They're likely to put a while loop in the way I'm going to show you, just to not confuse you, but test your knowledge of maybe other languages really. So I'm going to start a new file, and remember, I've already said this is not going to run in Python at all. If you are in Basic or maybe Visual Basic or Pascal, then this might work. But what happens with a while loop? There are two versions, and the one that the exam board tend to test you on is this second version, which we can't run. Here we had while running, so my loop follows the while statement. So I've got while running and then I've got my loop. So it performs all of these statements, doesn't perform the game over, and then loops back to the top. And as I pointed out, if you set the condition to false to begin with, then this loop is never ever entered. So a while loop with the condition at the top may run 0 or more times. Okay, so there is a chance that this code will never ever be executed. But there is a loop in other languages which is sort of opposite to that. It's very difficult to program because it doesn't really make much sense in Python, but I'll give you a flavour of it. So let's try running. If I set that to false, and then the keyword that I need here is repeat. It's not going to turn orange because it's not a keyword in Python. But now I am in my loop. So I could put print playing game again. Well, let me just copy and paste all of this. It'll be simpler. So it's the same code. Back one. Oops. Okay, so there's the same code, but the condition would come at the very bottom. So I would type here while running. Okay, and if it was Python, I'd put a colon on the end, but really in other languages it wouldn't. Now the difference is that here is the loop. Okay, here's all the code that is executed in the loop, and the condition is tested at the end of the loop, and it goes round and round and round, and it will do the same thing. It won't print game over until running becomes false. So if I put this in, it won't print this line until running becomes false. So I've set running to false. I'm repeating, print playing the game, ask the user for some input. If they typed Y, I'm going to set running to true. It's going to jump down to here. While I'm running, which would be true, it would come back up on the repeat section to the top. Print playing game, ask if I want to play again. This time if I type N for no, it would run the else part, set running to false. While running, well, that is now false, so it would print game over. Now the difference between these two kind of loops, apart from the fact that one won't work in Python, is that this loop always runs this code at least once. With the condition at the top, we might never have run that code at all. So 0 or more, 1 or more. 0 or more, 1 or more. And the condition comes at the bottom, and this is called a repeat loop. And in some languages, they don't use the word while. Some languages they do. Some languages, they might use the word until running. So this means that the loop will always be executed once. We will always run this code once before we check it. This code might never ever be executed. That is the difference between the two loops, a while loop and a repeat until or a repeat while. And this is a favourite trick of the exam board, to give you the code in this fashion and ask you what is happening.